What's going on, guys? Mia here, and in today's video I wanted to do something a bit different than usually. I'm not going to talk so much about the business side of things, but instead I want to share a bit about the process that I use for creating graphics for the explainer videos or animated videos that I do. So I thought that this was an ideal project to show you my process, because I'm actually, with this one, I'm not under the non-disclosure agreement or NDA with the client, so I can freely show you my graphics and the things that I'm working on for this project. As a quick overview, I create all of my graphics for explainer videos in Adobe Illustrator. I set up all of these slides and then I start creating the graphics. Now for this project, the graphics are already done, so I won't be showing you exactly how to use the tools in Illustrator and all of that, because there's a lot of tutorials out there and a lot of teachers showing you how to use all the vector graphics and how to use layers and how to move all those points around. So I'll just give you a quick overview of how I approach an explainer video project and how I basically package the graphics so that I can send them to the client for the first revision and see what they have to say about them. So you can see that I have all of these slides here in Illustrator, and basically every slide, if we zoom in a bit, has the voiceover that will be spoken through on this scene in the explainer videos, because all of these graphics will be animated once they're approved by the client. But for each voiceover sentence or for each segment of the voiceover, I basically have to create a scene and the graphics, and also explain what will happen once all of this becomes animated. If we take a quick look, you can see that under each slide I write the segment, I put the segment of the voiceover so that I know what to put in the slide, and then I just create a quick explanation of what will be happening once this slide is animated. This process enables me to work much more efficiently, because I don't create the animation and send it to the client, because if they have some changes, because if they have some changes for the graphics and stuff like that, it's much harder to change them once they're already animated. So I use this step first before going to the animation stage, so that the end result is better, we save time, and also there's a lot less revisions once the animation is done. Now you can see that under every slide, basically the scene that will be animated once the explainer video is done, there's the voiceover and what's basically a short explanation of what's happening in the scene. And we can see that it's here, and basically under every scene. Now, I already have the voiceover. For the voiceover script for this video. It was already approved by the client. We did this before I started working on the graphics. There were some revisions. I wrote this script myself because I also do copywriting. And once this was approved, I started working on the graphics for this video. Now, usually the challenge with explainer videos is that once you have the voiceover, for example, here you have the voiceover, and then you have to really think about how to show these words and basically how to use graphics that will work well with this voiceover. So for this particular segment, I chose like some kind of a world background, world map, with different like programmers, people using cell phones, like somebody shopping on the online store, some servers, and all of them are transacting with some symbol for money. I just use this dollar coin over here. And I will send this to the client. Once it's approved, I can basically start animating all of this. And you can see that all of these graphics are in vector format in Illustrator, and they're basically ready to be animated. So once I get the approval for these graphics, I basically take all of these graphics, make separate layers for them. Each of these slides will basically be a separate Illustrator file that I'll then import into Adobe After Effects and work on the animation there. But in this video, I just want to explain how I basically work on the graphics so that they're as good as basically I can create them. Now in the second video, we can see that there's some words about establishing trust and stuff like that. So I use this like lawyer, like regulation symbols here. Also the symbols from the previous slide, like the programmer, and all of these symbols that will later be animated, and basically the animation will look like this building will appear, and then all of these symbols will be connected to the building, and this money will be flowing like from the building to the other symbol for the person using a cell phone and stuff like that. Also in the next slide you have this is expensive, inefficient, and full of safety issues, and here I have to put this behind because it's not on a good layer. So I should just send it back. Okay, it's looking much better now. I've also created all of these symbols over here, and then we have the logo of the client, and also another slide that explains smart contracts and stuff like that. I won't go into too much details. I just wanted to give you a quick overview of how I visualize this voiceover that will then be spoken in the video by the voiceover artist, and how everything will look before it's actually animated. So then we have some more symbols for SDK, their DDF, and basically stuff like that. So I go through each and every one of these slides, create the graphics, and once I have all of these slides in place, I basically create this one big Illustrator file with the complete storyboard inside of it. Now, if I want to send this to the client, I obviously can't send them an Illustrator file because most of the clients don't have the Adobe Illustrator license. So I prefer to package it into a PDF file, and the client can really easily review that file, and maybe also PDF has the option for comments, so they can comment on each slide, and I have a much easier time making the revisions and keeping track of all of the revisions that will be done if needed, possibly. But usually there are revisions with every project. So once I have this complete, I go into the Adobe InDesign, and I have this little document, that document template that I've created. I basically create the first, like the title slide, if you want to call it, the first page. Then on the second page, I put in the complete storyboard, and then for every screen, I put each slide on I basically put each slide on a separate page in the document. You can see here that I don't have this on high quality display performance because it works much faster like this. Hopefully it renders out if I put it on the higher quality display performance. So once I have all these slides in place, you can see that we have basically 19 pages, but this is screen 17 because we have 2 more existing before that. And once I export this, I come up with something like this. Now this is the PDF document that I actually sent to the client. And you can see that the graphics in here are really crisp. They can basically review each screen, check out the graphics, maybe do some comments, like you can use, okay, I have this in Slovenian, so sorry for you guys that don't understand it. This is just a comment, and they can put comments in here on every slide and send that back to me, so I can do a revision and send them a revised version once again. And once we have that complete, we basically start with the animation stage. Now for this video, I've used graphics because the client's logo looks like this, and they have this really blue background that they use it. So I have to be careful when I design these graphics. I have to be careful and really think about the design so that it's actually consistent with their corporate image and with their complete overall graphic style. So that if somebody sees this, they will know right away that this looks like my bit blue background. And yeah, you have to make sure that the video is branded, that the colors and everything and fonts are accurate and consistent with their brand. So I'm really excited that I was able to share a bit of my process, a bit of my design process for explainer video graphics with you guys. Because usually I'm under the non-disclosure agreement with the client and I cannot show you what I'm working on, but with this project that's not a problem. So I'm really glad that I was able to share that on my channel. And that's it, guys. Let me know if you find this kind of content helpful, if you found this video interesting, or if you have any other ideas of or any other questions of or ideas about the topics that you would like me to cover, and I'll be glad to do that. And I hope you enjoyed the videos. If you have any kind of questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. And if you like the content, give me a like and subscribe to my channel. And thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.